Happy Thursday. I feel like I'm getting through a really busy week. Man cave and elders and taking care of things, people needing to talk. Um, Sometimes it's nice to get toward the end of the week. Um, I got a question that I'm not sure is an answerable question. In the series that we've been doing, soundtracks, I've been getting some good response and there's been great conversation. But it's kind of been in the back of my mind because we've spent so much time in it. It seems like we're nitpicking it apart. And the question is, why is this so important? Like, why does this matter? In the big scheme of things, in a month or 2 months, will we even remember the series or why we did it? So I've been wrestling with that because I want it to hang on for us. This is why I think it's important. Janet and I have been having a conversation because I've noticed that there is this something in me that's kind of just right now. And I don't know what it is. And I told her, I said, I don't know what it is. I hope to find out what it is. I apologized for it. Um, and I know it's an old soundtrack. I know there's something playing in the background that when I get in a certain situation, it kicks in because it's an automatic reflex. And so another question is, do you find those inside of you that if you're in a certain situation, if something happens that's happened before, in dealing with a person, in dealing with a tough decision, or trying to figure something out, that there is this reaction inside of you that seems to be outside of your control? That's an old soundtrack. The reason why I think it's important is because as we move through the summer and into the fall, we're going to be moving into election season. And we're all kind of having old soundtracks play in our mind about what happens if it doesn't go our way. And we play worst case scenario. If my person doesn't win presidency, or if we can't keep, or we take the House, we can't keep, or we take the Senate, there's this thing that plays in the back of our mind that's very catastrophic, like the whole world's going to come to an end. If you look back at the past presidents, we have a current Democratic one, the one before it was Republican, the one before that was Democrat, the one before that was Republican, the one before that was Democrat, the one before that was Republican, Republican, Democrat. And we go like, okay, why does that not become a new soundtrack? Why? And I want soundtracks to make sense. Like, we've been back and forth for a long time now, and we still think the world is on fire. So the problem we're placing on politics really isn't politics at all. There's something else broken inside of us that we need to replace. That's why I think it's important. Because the world out there, and unfortunately, a lot of churches are going to get caught up in, if our person doesn't win, it's going to be the end. Like, God can only work through this particular person. And I believe that the soundtrack series is us wrestling with the fact that we are the ones that create the problem, and not necessarily create the problem, but create the attention around the problem. And if we can kind of back off a little bit and turn it down a little bit, which is what I'm hoping to find in the way that I have been responding lately, that we can just kind of amp things down a bit and then have much more civil conversations. We can talk about important things and discuss important issues, but it's not this winner take all, ride or die combat that we've seen. That's why I think this is important. And this is why this Sunday is important, because we're talking about keeping it going. We're talking about momentum, because we can start it. Like, we can go like, okay, I mean to be better. I don't mean to do it that way. I don't mean to be so reactive or so combative. And then we find ourselves 5 minutes later or a week later, same instant reaction. So this Sunday we're going to talk about momentum. Like, once we get started recognizing old soundtracks and replacing them, how do we keep that going? What are some tools and things that we can use to help us maintain momentum? That will be this Sunday. Even though we're in summer break, there's a lot going on around here. Told you we had man cave, elders, women's group is meeting this morning, and a women's group meet last night. We have a crew that's been cleaning this out who are invaluable because we're using the space again, but we still have some more cleaning out to do. We have a crew that cleans the outside of the building so it looks nice when you come in. We finally replaced one of the air conditioning units in the office area. Our staff has been sacrificing cold and heat so we could take care of other areas of the building. But we realized that one of the conference rooms where elders meet, women's Bible study meets, and after party meets has been subjected to a lot of heat. And so we needed to get that fixed. So we have to say thank you. You're the reason why we're able to kind of take care of this building, but also to help a lot of ways in the community. So, food pantry this Sunday, a church-wide fellowship on the 30th, Singles Fellowship on July 4th. I know it's at someone's house. Do not be terrified. We will make sure that you are welcomed and that you figure out how to get there. That is it. We have a lot going on, obviously. And one of that is doing the work of switching out old soundtracks for new ones because it's important. So, have a great weekend, and we'll see you Sunday. Take care.